Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living Coach. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the full moon in Libra report. This is not just any full moon. This is a huge shift in relationships and what we want them to look like, what our identity and how we're holding ourselves and how we appear to others, as well as our value system. Yeah, so stick around and I'm going to get right into it and then we're going to do the card reading. So this full moon is happening in Libra at 12 degrees. And this will change our relationships forever. Here's what to do. This is not just another full moon. This is a relationship reset point. This is going to show you exactly where you've been out of alignment in love, in money, and in life. And if you work with this energy correctly, you can literally shift your entire timeline. And there has been a lot of things that we've been rethinking and reconsidering as we've had Mercury in retrograde in Pisces, and it is leaving shadow. Let me pull up the dates for that. So Mercury went retrograde at 22 degrees of Pisces. So you want to look in your chart where that was. This is where we were reconsidering, readjusting, and reevaluating what it is that we need to take a closer look at in our life. It went direct at 8 degrees of Pisces, and this we're looking at February 11th, and then on March 20th, and then Mercury leaves retrograde finally on March 9th, and the same day that Mars goes into Aries. So there will be a lot of forward movement and a lot of action happening in April. Okay. And April is spring, Easter. So we have this growth, this new beginning. Things are moving quickly. We are pretty much like knowing where we're going because Jupiter in Cancer is now direct, and this is about our our emotional expansion and our security and how we get our security, and what are we expanding. I think we're seeing that we're expanding our family outside of just our blood family. We're looking into like adopting friends and family and community and people that feel like home and that are good for us. And we are choosing them as our family. So Jupiter went retrograde on 11/11 of last year, and then at 25 degrees of Cancer, and then went direct at 15 degrees of Cancer on March 10th of this year. And it will leave shadow. We will finally have some forward movement in wherever Cancer is in your chart, as well as what house Sagittarius is on June 7th. Okay, that's when it leaves shadow. Then we have Uranus moving back into Gemini. So it moved into Gemini on July 7th, and then it went retrograde on September 5th at 1 degrees of Gemini. And then Uranus moved back into Taurus November 8th of last year, and Uranus is moving back into Gemini April 26th. And that leaves shadow May 21st. So there is a lot happening. So you want to look at where Aquarius is in your chart, what rules that. Also, you want to look at where Gemini is. So there is going to be some forward momentum. If you're a rising Leo, you are looking at Aquarius in your 7th house of partnerships, marriage, business partnerships. And so there has been a lot of back and forth movement here. But it'll be much clearer at the end of May. And then we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is about the collective value system and power grid transformation. And I noticed that Pluto was applying to the United States South Node in Aquarius in the second house. And this is about letting go of an old system that doesn't work, especially a financial system. So we are going to get a little sneak peek into the how the United States currency is transforming. And that's going to get the closest in for this, I think, for this Libra full moon, actually. I think that's why I brought it up, but let me just make sure. Yeah, it's at 5 degrees. And so US natal South Node is at 6 degrees. It will not be exact until next year. So that's why I'm saying we're going to get a sneak peek of what is transforming in our financial area and how we provide for ourselves as far as the US goes, and where our money is going to be moving towards. It was like gold and crypto and EFTs, and it's diversified, and where is it going? What are we going to do? How is it going to be transforming? How's it moving over? And how's our government going to deal with that? So those are a couple of the aspects or, movements of the planets that I wanted to talk about. But let's get back to interpreting all of this for this full moon in Aries. A full moon is a completion, but it's also a highlight, right? And so Libra is about our relationships, and Aries, which is opposite, is about ourself. And this always has to do with self and other, how we balance our needs with the needs of others. And this is all highlighting our relationships. So you want to look at where Libra is in your chart at around 12 degrees. This is where the full moon is highlighting and intensifying this area. So this could be, this is all about our relationships. So like, let's say if it's in your third house, this is highlighting the intensity around having conversations that you need to have around your relationships, your self-worth, your emotional patterns, and stepping into a completely new version of yourself. And this bridges the moment between this old identity that we're letting go of and the person that we're becoming next, and how our relationship standards are going to be going moving forward, because there is transformation happening. This is the illusion is breaking. We have Neptune and Saturn opposing this full moon in Libra, and they're in Aries. And this is a new cycle. Saturn and Neptune have not traveled this closely since 1989, 1990. And it was in Capricorn. So this is a brand new beginning this is a brand new cycle, 36-year cycle. And it's in the sign of Aries. So you want to look at where Aries is and what that is ruling in your chart, your personal natal chart. If you need any assistance, you don't know what I'm talking about, I think I'm going to do a video on how to pull up your chart. How to read the chart is a different story. That's what I do. I have links in my link tree, my bio, where you can click on the 101 basics of how to read your astrology birth chart. And it's, I don't know, $50, maybe $55 or something like that. You can watch the video and you'll have a clear understanding, at least for the beginnings of reading a birth chart. There are houses, okay, and each house represents an area of our life. And so, pretty much horoscopes are pretty mundane when I'm giving them. And I'm just trying to try to get everyone in there. But if you know what rules what in your own personal chart, then you could really get more out of these reports. But if you don't want to learn and you just want me to read you each month or whenever there's some big transits, I think quarterly is a smart thing to do for readings a year, where I can get in and see what the focus is, how I can prepare you to be the most successful throughout the year. All right, let's get back to this. So you may start to see people for who they are, where you've been maybe overgiving. That's Libra. You know, Libra wants to be the people pleaser. It wants everyone to be happy. And sometimes it's at its own self detriment, or, you know, not being a good friend to really anyone because you are just, you don't have like, what is the loyalty to anything, because you're just trying to please everyone. Also, where you've been keeping peace instead of honoring yourself. It's like sometimes you just have to speak your truth and tell people how it is, you know? At the end of the day, people pleasing, fantasy based relationship, ignoring your needs isn't going to get you anywhere. And it's the beginning of self respect, boundaries, and choosing yourself. We can't be everyone to everything to everyone. Okay. We need to start holding on to our energy. We want quality over quantity. I'm learning that myself. Over giving, too many things that you're juggling, and then you have nothing to show for it. Now, this full moon is squaring Jupiter in Cancer. It's going to bring in some intensity and some emotions. We might be experiencing maybe old wounds coming up, or family patterns getting triggered, feeling overwhelmed or sensitive. You want to say hi? Oh, Mimi wants to say hi, everyone. She says, yep. So here it is. This isn't about like focusing all on ourselves either. This is about balancing our needs with the needs of others, and like seeing the relationships for what they are and not like what they can be. It's about getting real with yourself and being like, okay, is this serving me? Is this a mutually receptive relationship? Am I seeing with rose colored glasses? And once Mercury clears shadow, we're going to be seeing things clearly. This is our inner child asking for the level up. And if there is confusion, there will be breakthrough. This is weird energy here with Mercury and Pisces. Like, Mercury doesn't like to be in Pisces. You might not be able to explain what you're feeling, or you might feel unclear or foggy, or communication feels off, or you're just like kind of going with the flow, but like it might not be intentional. It's just convenient. And you really want to be honest with yourself. If these things, relationships, are working for you, there is a hidden gift here. Behind the confusion, there's the breakthrough, the realization, the truth that you didn't see before. So don't rush clarity. Just let it come to you. It's not something that you could force, especially in Pisces. And Venus is in Taurus right now, and it's squaring over to Pluto and Aquarius. So this is love, money, power shifts. This is about money and relationships and self-worth. You might ask yourself, am I settling? Is the relationship equal? Am I being valued properly? And on a bigger level, we are starting to see shifts on how value and money systems work now, because it's transforming and it's changing. This is just the beginning, too. There's a timeline shift window, and it's important because it's from April 1st, this full moon, to April 9th. You are in the processing phase, because once that April 9th, the Mercury shadow clears, so clarity comes in, and Mars will be out of Pisces, where it's so hard to get shit done. It's like running on a treadmill under the water. You know, you get a really good workout, but you don't get anywhere. So Mars will be in Aries, and it'll just be like, oh my God, you will hit the ground running because your mind's thinking clearer, your energy levels are higher, and the action begins. So don't rush any decisions right this moment. Okay? You will feel the buildup this week. Observe, feel, and process. Then act after the clarity has hit. Okay? So what you should do, check your energy in your relationships. Okay? Where do I feel energized? Who energizes me? And where do I feel drained? And who drains me? And if there's an imbalance, fix it. Make it balance. Eliminate relationships, people that are draining you, that are not giving back, that are playing games, that are inconsistent, that are not stable, that are not mutually receptive, and invite the ones that are. Or be open to it. You could also clear your space. That's a really good thing. Clear out any kind of clothes or objects or things in your junk drawer, your garage, or closet that is not serving you. You live in Crockett or the Bay Area, there's this amazing art collective and thrift store called Messiahs in Crockett. Look them up. Donations. You can bring in your clothes, your shoes, pretty much anything. You have antiques, whatever, because they do some charity work as well. Set one boundary. Okay. You don't need to fix everything. Just choose one. Say no to whatever. Speak up. Choose yourself. So figure out what that is. Regulate your emotions with the Cancer and Jupiter work. You might be feeling some stuff coming to the surface, and you know, it's a good time when you're in your emotions. I get on my vibration plate. I feel like it moves the emotions around. Or you can take a bath, put some magnesium or some kind of Epsom salt or sea salt, whatever works for you. Journal. Okay, get all your thoughts and and maybe even your goals out on paper. It might even be good to write what you're releasing in your relationships, maybe your past relationships that haven't worked. Maybe write your, I call them your deal breakers. Write them out. Be like, okay, I am never going to be and tolerate this kind of behavior in my relationships anymore. Moving forward, I am looking at this in a brand new way. Write down your deal breakers. Then write the opposite of your deal breakers. Write what you want in your relationships and focus on being that. Focus on manifesting that. And how you can manifest it is being that. If you want someone stable, you want someone to show up for you, you want someone to be consistent, then you need to do that yourself. If you want someone to be smart and intellectual and driven, you need to be smart, intellectual, and driven. If you want someone to be fit and healthy, you got to be fit and healthy. You do the work, and that will vibrate out, and you will attract that. Now, if you're in a situation where you're doing the work and your partner is not, there is growing apart. There needs to be a completion of that. If you're not happy, you're not getting your needs met, you're growing, you can outgrow relationships. That's what relationships and marriage is about. That's the challenge in keeping marriages together is if you're not growing together, you're growing apart. You're creating distance and a gap. So when your partner is motivated and you see them doing things, read with them. If they got a book and they're reading a book, be interested. Say, hey, what is that book about? Hey, like, can I read it after? Or if you see your partner working out, going to the gym, eating healthy, follow, do it. You want to level up. When someone's doing good, you want to follow. Now, if you have a partner that's just dragging you down, it might be the full moon to have the serious talk of having to walk away. But you want to set your standards. You just don't want to bounce on anyone. You want to say, I've been noticing this, and I'm feeling like we're floating apart, and I don't want to float apart. I want to float together and rise together and level up together. Have those meaningful, deep conversations of, hey, is this something that you can do for us? And if you guys are not on the same level, then it's time to kiss it goodbye. But yeah, it's a time of like meditation, bath, release, drink lots of water, slow down, go on a walk, go in nature, get grounded in your body. Breakthroughs come when you stop forcing, and when you sit still or you trust your intuition. So this might even be a time to reevaluate your worth, your self-worth, your money. Am I living in alignment with that? Then start making micro adjustments. You could do a ritual if you want. You could write down what you're releasing in relationships, like I said, what patterns you're done with, and what you've been, where you have been abandoning yourself. And you can just say, I release what is no longer in alignment with my truth. I choose relationships that honor me, support me, and reflect my worth. And then burn it, tear it, bury it, whatever you want to do. But this full moon is a turning point. Not everything will be falling apart, but it will be falling in alignment and into place with your specific action within this April 9th. So after April 9th, whatever you're doing, because what's next? We got the full moon in Libra, and then we'll have the new moon in Aries. So whatever relationships, even like jobs, clients, friendships, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you got to release that shit. If it's not working, release it, because this new moon on the 17th is your new identity. So what are you looking to create for your life going forward? We're all in it together. We're all transforming together. And yeah, I wish you the best. Let me go ahead and pull a card to close this. I'm going to do the tarot here. Whoa. Like throne. So we got the Two of Wands. See, this lady right here, she is doing the work. She's on Saturn. She's taking action. Wands is a fire sign. And it's taking actions in partnership, in relationship. The Ace of Swords, really thinking and being fruitful with your thoughts. Don't sit in the negative spiral of like doomsday, like, oh my God, if I leave this person, I'm never going to find anyone like them. It's not true. Those are self-limiting beliefs, and we're not here for that. No, thank you. Eight of Pentacles. This is about building your value, your wealth, working. See how she's painting? She's painting those. She just made this beautiful picture. Like, you have to put in the work if you want to get the coin. You want the bag? Do the work. And last but not least, the Page of Wands. So this is something new you're taking action on. And it's going to enlighten you. It's going to release the chains of whatever's been holding you back. Like this is beautiful, beautiful energy. I'll go ahead and let's read the Page of Wands in the book. Page of Wands. Standing firm on the earth, I stretch into new directions, because that's what's happening with full moons, new directions. The newness, the wonder, and the exploration. Unknown terrain is open to you. It's a perfect match for your willingness to expand no matter how vast the wilderness. The Page of Wands symbolizes that you are tapped into your power and pure potential, becoming beaming like a ray of sunshine. You are unafraid to stretch beyond your current limitations and continue to approach what awaits with a genuine curiosity and the sense of wonder. There is so much to explore through your beaming with newly emerging ideas. Allow time for them to shape. There is no rush. While this page is receptive and inspired for what's next, she encourages you to stay connected to the earth below you, grounding in nature. You need firm roots in order to rise tall, especially to accomplish all that you are now reaching for. Magic becomes tangible when you align with its gravity. And that's so true, because even like with this card right here, she is taking control over Saturn. Saturn is a limitation. That's why it has the rings. She's looking down. She sees her limitations, but she's rising above it. She's getting over whatever has been holding her back so she can flourish, so she has this high vibration, so she could put her efforts into where they are aligned and deserved. We don't want to be putting out our energy into things that aren't given energy back, right? They're just energy vampires. We don't want that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting. And yeah, I have no problem if you guys want to share this on your social media, your Facebook. I think the more people that get this information, then the happier and more successful and that we are. We want happy people in the world. We don't want grump butts that's going to ruin our day, or grumpy bosses, right? So let's make this shit happen. Peace out, your Lucid Living Coach. If you want to connect with the community, I'm having a paint and sip on April 25th. That's the next one at Revival Coffee here in Crockett at 4 o'clock. We are going to do a fun, different twist to this paint and sip because Uranus is entering Gemini. And we're going to celebrate it by, we're all going to start like we usually start. We're going to paint, okay? For the first hour, we're going to paint. Then the last 2 hours of the party, the paint party, every half hour, we're going to switch canvases. So you're going to paint something on someone else's canvas. You could switch with whoever you choose. If you have friends there or you invite a friend, you guys can switch with someone else, kind of rotate every half an hour. So eventually 4 different people will have had your painting, and you're going to get that painting back at the end of the night, in which you'll leave home with. So if that sounds interesting and fun, I just thought I would take a twist on it because of the community. The Uranus in Gemini is about like shaking up tradition and things that we're so used to, shaking it up and coming together as a collective and communicating with one another. And I thought that would be fun. So if that sounds like, oh, I just want to paint my painting, that's fine. You don't have to participate, but it would be fun if everyone did participate. So yeah. Anything else that I could think of that's going on? I know the Prisoner Winery Paint and Sip got rescheduled, and I will give you the next date. As soon as I get that, I'll probably post it on my socials. But that is it. I think that's it for now. Peace out, guys.